All right, man. We are here with therapy sessions, man. And guess what, man? We finna fall off the tracks, man, because the ladies are not here tonight. I want to say prayers and thoughts out to them because they're feeling a little under the weather. But we got a surprise for you. I got my brothers in the house, Big George.
All right.
And I got also OG,
Yes.
aka Craig, in
Yes,
the
sir.
building. And of course,
Yes,
this
sir.
is JT. And we here and we gonna talk about this and we gonna talk about that and that about that and like that. So let's go on and get with it. Let's get with the subjects here, man. So we had the ladies coming in and we were going to talk about men that don't do too much when they move out of their mother's house because I guess the mother did everything for them and they were expecting the woman that they get with to do everything for them. And who was to blame for that? Is it the mother or is it the guy that's sitting there? Who knows? George, you got any thoughts on it?
Oh man, all I can say is, man, is when I got out, I grew up. So at the end of the day, I mean, I can't blame it on my mom. And when I moved somewhere else, it was all about me.
Right.
It was all about me and how I was raised, how I'm gonna treat the woman that I'm with, and things like that, of that nature. So for me, it's all about the way you treat yourself. If you treat yourself right, you're gonna treat the lady that you're with right. And so when y'all living together, that's gonna be right.
Right. Right.
I hear you.
Pretty much.
I hear you. That's the version. Go ahead, Craig. Tell us what you got.
Well, I think we getting our values. I mean, to me, the question seems like the women don't want a man that wants them to treat them the way that their mother did. But what I'm saying is we get some of our values from our mother and our father. So if I see my mom, doing something, then I kind of like, of course, I'm gonna want my woman to not necessarily be my mother, but do some of the things that I like, which is what my mother did.
Yeah, like she cooked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She did, she gave you that consultation and different things like that. So I mean, like it's for me, man, like I don't really blame my childhood raising. After I turned 30, I think that, been out of the house long enough, man, where we should whatever we've been through, we should have overcome. I can't blame my parents for anything, man. I can only give them gratitude. Like I said before, man, like, always call your parents, man, when you're figuring out things in life, because sometimes, man, you just don't learn it right then. You learn it when you live life a little bit. So you call your parents and say, man, the older I get, the smarter you get. So, you know what I mean? Like, because the women are not here, we ain't finna deal with that all night anyway.
No.
Let's talk about something real out here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to the east side. And some of them call it the lower east side. You know what I'm
East
saying?
side.
You know what I mean? We are here in the building. If you got something to say, man, come on, please holla at us. We here tonight, man. North side, shout out, big ups to you. Always big ups to the west side, you know what I'm saying? Southwest, whatever you want to call it, northwest, whatever you want to call it. We ventured it all because we the east siders. We go everywhere. We do whatever we want. So holla at me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We got the NAO on deck, so it's gonna be crazy tonight, y'all. So let's talk.
All right, y'all. Y'all hit us up, man. This is the time, man. Y'all say we be talking crazy, man. This is a platform, man. Come talk crazy with us. Let us know how you feeling, man. I know throughout the years, I don't say a lot of things. I do question mark. Challenge me.
Yeah.
Challenge me. Here we go. Right here. I stand behind everything I said.
Make it happen.
And if I didn't, I'll be mad enough to apologize for it. So we waiting on some more viewers, man. Until then, man, let's get into I don't know, man. What's the state of Rochester right now, y'all, man?
Oh man, it's ridiculous, man. Real quick, man. Shout out to Kevin Noble. He says, "What up, George, man? Marine Corps." You know what I mean? Hey, man, y'all go ahead and shout us out, man. We're gonna put you out here, man.
Okay, I see you, Christopher Boyd.
That's old school G,
Jeff
man.
Fisher, okay. Let's see it. That's east side. That's the east side.
Yeah, we're doing a little something, man.
But you know what? The state of Rochester, man, is crazy, man. And I'm assuming, man, because it's all over the place when you look at the news. But we can talk about Rochester, man. Like, yo, the violence is getting crazy, man. You know what I mean? We got weed everywhere, on every corner, everywhere we split it at, man. You could chew it, you could smoke it, you could sniff it, you could do whatever you want with it. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? We have to be strong enough, man, for the potholes and obstacles that are laid before us, man. You can indulge, but you don't have to overdo it either.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But sometimes, man, we got to be able to talk some things out, man. I think that's what the youth is missing out, man. Sometimes, man, you got to talk it out, man, or go and get some boxing gloves, man, and put them in, man. Let's go jump in the ring, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't got to die over it, man. Whatever it is, because it can't be that.
Let me throw
serious.
something out there, man, because firearms, guns. And a lot of y'all kids out here with guns. A lot of y'all think that's the way it's supposed to go. That ain't the way it's supposed to go. In my mind, it's my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Guns are for protection, not aggression. So when you get out there, you get into a little tip or something, the first thing you want to do is pull that trigger. But do you understand what's going to happen after you pull that trigger? There's no turning back.
Right.
There's no turning back. There's no turning back, even if the person dies or stays alive. There's no turning back. Once you pull that trigger, it's over with. Either you're on the run for the rest of your life or you're locked up for the rest of your life. And then now when you're back in that cell, all you got in that cell is these knuckles once again. You know what I'm saying? Which you never got a chance to practice with because you always had that gun in your hand, using it for aggression instead of protection.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody bother me, I'm going to hold my gun, and it's for protection. But as aggression, you want to jump out there, you want to flaunt it, show it, pop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because Rochester's gotten crazy, man. Let me talk to you young folk out there. Rochester's gotten crazy. Y'all shooting and killing for no reason.
Yeah, and there's no more honor among thieves. You know what I mean? Like I think I just seen the other day it was 81-year-old man got carjacked, man, gun. Like who does that to an old man?
Well, you know what I think, man? I got to take a phrase from Tupac and Juice, man. This nigga scared. A lot of these niggas with guns is scared. You know what I mean? You scared, man. You can't throw the five. You ain't ready to do that. You ain't ready to see a nigga like that, man. That's why you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the stuff, man, when you be hearing that, dispute over a woman, dispute over a candy bar. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's keep it real, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who got to die for that?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me throw this out there because you just said, dispute over the woman. Fellas, your bangers out there, your bangers. You're beefing with this one dude over this woman. You shoot him, he dead. You in jail, she gone. She ain't even one of y'all. So now you in jail. No, he dead because, she ain't his no more. You in jail, she ain't yours no more. She belongs to somebody else anyway. So what I'm saying is that, when y'all are pulling these triggers, man, understand what the consequences is. Understand what the reality of it is. Understand that when you doing this because of some certain, he stepped on my toes. Oh, come on now. Is that a reason for you to kill a man? Is that a reason for you to go do 25 to life or better? Nah, it ain't. It ain't. It's a reason for you to go grab a napkin and wipe your foot off. No, I wouldn't leave talking to cast this stuff. Don't cast toes. Hey man, you stepped on somebody's toes. Apologize. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I really ain't mean that. My bad. My bad. We can accept that. But we can't, as a man, we can't accept the fact when you sit here talking about, so what? Now we got that little argument going on.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you go to jail, it's all because somebody done stepped on your toe. Or all because you done stepped on somebody else's toe. Hey, come on, y'all. I'm talking to the kids now. I hope my adults out there, my old school, shout out to all my old schools. I hope all y'all out there already knew this and understand what it is.
Yeah, let's touch on that, man. Like, what do we do? I mean, like, does the elder, the OGs supposed to step in? Are the OGs supposed to talk to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Real quick, man. Like, shout out to Jack and Cecily. They tuned in. You know what I mean? Like, they're a little sick this evening, man. But they'll be back next week.
What's up, Jack?
Want to give a shout out to my daughter Maya. Man, I see she watching. My daughter Nia watching. I'm trying to get these shout outs in between conversation. But you know what I mean? Like, what do the OGs do? How do we curve this? We can't curve it all, but can we curve some of it?
We can curve some because we can teach, but A lot of these folks ain't listening, man.
Ain't trying to
Shit,
learn.
we gotta damn near die for them to get a point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just home because a lot of the stuff that's going on, these people that's stealing cars, they ain't going home alone. They going home somewhere. Most of them probably staying with their parents. Y'all know what these goddamn kids is doing, man. Y'all know what they doing, man.
Right.
So I mean, let's start with our own household. You know what I mean? My neighborhood is just crazy.
Oh, let me throw this other quick piece out there. Parents, come on now. Stop acting like your child is that innocent. Stop acting like your child is that innocent. Now, because what he do around you, or shall I say he and she do around you, ain't really what they doing around everybody else.
Yeah.
So stop acting like your kid is innocent. And remember your upbringing. I tell my kids all the time, all that stuff you doing, man, we done did that. I know what it look like. You can't look for me on that.
Right.
I know what it look like. So I'm telling your parents out there, you know what your kids look like. You know what it was when you was doing it. So when the kids are doing it, you know what it is. So let's change that. Let's talk to them. Make some down. What's on your mind today?
Right.
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 Get off that now. Come on, parents. Hey, at the end of the day, it is up to us. It is up to us. Parents and that next door neighbor.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling you on that, man. And one of the things, man, that we have to realize, man, is that we all got to be able to, I'm a systematic person. So when I look at the system and the way the system has divulged money and did different things, man, let's be realistic, man. Most of the women get the money. And they get to do things, and money, and once the money came in, they kind of changed the narrative of who's in charge of the house, and money shouldn't change that.
No.
And what happens is once you move the man out of the way, women don't understand that they're moving the protection out of the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now, son has to be the man of the house at an early age. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And the man has to try to go ahead and grudge through and try to reach the woman that he had a child with, a woman that he's with that has a child. You know what I mean? We have to have a nonstop togetherness, man. Our grandparents was together, man, for 75 years. You know what I'm saying? Dad when they're 92 and 94 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's all we knew. You know what I mean? Our parents was together for 30 years. And even after they separated, they never gave up on the kids. They never separated on that.
No.
Mom never talked about dad, and dad never talked about mom.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But what we have to do, man, is go ahead and say, man, this state of the Black community, man, is the male and female fault, man, with the system, man, playing a big part in the role in it.
Of breaking it up.
Yeah, of rating it up, and we then took it to hook, line, and sinker, man. Hook, line, and sinker.
I want to go back to what Big Wiz was saying. Was like, yo, man, the youngins, y'all don't understand. Like, we've been through this, and it's like it was always when I said like there's no more honor among thieves. It was always things that we did as youngsters. Now I grew up. I was born and raised on Kingston Street. And guess what? I never did nothing on Kingston Street because I was worried about my neighbors that would talk to my parents and tell them what I did. Now, if something came to Kingston Street, got dealt with on Kingston Street, but every other street in Rochester, I'm a hellraiser.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? We have to get our honor back, man. We got to be able to talk to these people, man, and we ought to be able to the youngest, we ought to be able to talk to them, and we ought to be able to talk to their parents. And adjust to what they're going through, because a lot of people are going through. You can't just get in a little bit. You can't just chastise nobody's kid. You got to be willing to get in there and do something else to help them out. Not just talk about them.
And parents also got to say, you got to be willing to listen to somebody else talking about your kid. You got to be willing to listen because you wasn't there, but somebody else was. They saw it happen.
And the important part of what you're saying, man, is the person that might tell you something about your kid is somebody that's always in the neighborhood. It could be a crackhead. It could be a drug, some kind of drug addict. It could be some kind of alcoholic or something like that. But if they are an elder and they seen something that your kid was doing, listen, man. Listen.
Listen, I got a good question from Jacqueline Savage here, man. It says, how do you approach a child or teenager in this society? Um, I don't know, man. I think it'll be like smile, or you gotta try to ease them on or edge them on, give them some type of compliment first, before you ease into it, man. But even still, it's hard. You can't get down deep because one, you're kind of busy person. You don't have all day to sit there and counsel some people, but when you can, man, just help out.
Yeah.
Just help out.
For me, what I do is like, let's say I still go to corner stores. I like to hit the corner store, and when I'm there, I mean, you got a couple kids sitting in front.
Right.
You got a couple kids in front, and I think you'll be nervous about going to the store. For me, no. When I walk up to that store and I see about 4 or 5 kids sitting right there looking like they probably ain't up to no good, or they probably up to good. But I say, how y'all doing, young fellas? I jump right out there, and a little bass in my voice. Don't get me wrong. Wait, hold on. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people talking about the fact that I'm 6'6" and 300 pounds. But I'm just saying the point, the fact of the matter. When you speak to these kids, man, they will sometimes listen or they will understand over there. And that's what I did.
Right.
And that one right there. But still, at the end of the day, what all I'm saying is that we got to talk. I've been around a lot of kids that are here. You might not listen, but they hear what you're saying. And then all you can do is put that little gem out there.
Right.
Work with it.
Every little bit counts, man.
He said, George, you intimidate him. So, I mean,
Yeah. Hey, real quick, want to give a shout out to my nephew Jalen. Jalen's watching. Give a shout out to Jeff White, man, who tuned in.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yo, old school homeboy, man. Like, yo, in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Big George. That's Big George next to William Boy.
Jeff said y'all always raise hell on my damn street, man. See the word. You know what I mean? Hey, man. You know what I mean? Y'all was a little bit younger than us, but y'all raised a little hell too. You know what I'm saying? You ain't had no shoes.
Hey, when we left, y'all took the hell over. So stop.
Yeah. But even then, I still was worried, man, that it'll get around to my parents. You know what I mean? Back then, we had love in our communities. Rec centers. Jeff Fisher said rec centers. Oh man.
Eastside community.
Yeah, Eastside Community Center, man. To this day, I'm working with a guy right now. His name is Bernard. I ain't gonna say his last name, but he's an old school dude, man. I see him like, hey man, you was the camp counselor, you worked at this thing. He's like, yeah. And now, I'm not his age, but I'm of his age. But it felt good to still talk to him. But it's like, yo, man, it's the respect I have for this man. You ain't got that no more, man.
Well, yeah, you know what? The reason why I say that is because the rec centers have dissipated. That's why you're seeing the kids on the corner store. I mean, the basketball courts ain't as prevalent as it was when we were coming up. But here's an even deeper thought, man. The two things in this world that run the world, we can't talk about. You know what I mean? And that's politics and religion. Anything that's strong and is structured in anything like your job or anything like that, you cannot talk about politics and you cannot talk about religion. And those are the two things that run the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think there's something strange about that? You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about none of that stuff because they know they got you by the kahunas with that, man. But we're gonna.
That's absolutely right, man. They're not here no more, man. They got the basketball courts in front of their houses now, the little spring up courts. No, we had to walk to the center and get next, pick you a squad, and walk to the park, man. I got next. You know what I mean? There's none of that no more. Anybody can play. Not only get their parents buy them a $100 court and put it in front of their house. Of course they're gonna play. They got the ball, they got the court. You gotta pick them.
They also put it in front of the house in the street.
Mm-hmm. Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to my niece Ashley out there in North Carolina, man. Love you, boo. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you do.
Man, George got all his, man. Where mine at, man? What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Sharice Owens? Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely. What up now?
Taja Williams, report to the stat.
Uh-oh.
We report to this line.
Little JT report to the stat. Jalea report to this stat. You know what I mean? Like, yo, where y'all at?
Shoulders, report to this line.
Hey, yo, Neil, did I shout you out yet? Oh, Jalea's watching. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't see it, man. I'm missing it all.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what, man? Like, we dealing with a lot of stuff, man. But like, we still got to talk about a little sports, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm shooting for Boston. You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
Boston also.
Hey, man. I give Boston a little credit, man. I thought Milwaukee was gonna do it, man. And they showed me wrong the last 2 games.
No.
showed
Who
me
you
wrong.
going for?
Oh,
Yeah, man.
First of all, let's keep it 100. I'm a New York Knicks.
Yeah.
I ain't going for
They
that.
gone. They gone.
I ain't going for that one. I'm a New York Knicks all the way down, man. But I like
Okay,
Boston.
Quez, I see you Celtics.
I like Boston. They impressed me the past few games. But I mean, hey, all I can say is, hey, you still got to watch out for them Warriors. Man.
Yeah.
Still do that thing.
I'm old school basketball. With sports. Everything I do with sports. I'm an old school type guy, man. So to me, I'm not with all that old threes. Man, I'm not with all that 3 popping, walking behind the line, shooting the 3. No, man. I'm with
yeah.
I like to see
Old
punch
school.
it in the
Old
hole
school.
and get it.
No, you talking about old school basketball. Now, I'm a basketball player myself, so I know. Listen, okay, they ain't going in the hole like they used to do back in the day.
Because they're shooting the 3s.
Yeah, they ain't going in the hole like that. And matter of fact, I'm down with Shaq. Shaq said this one day. He said, the game is different, man. Ain't no big man pass the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Could you imagine Patrick Ewing shooting 3 man? Come back, Wendy, and Patrick with the
Yeah.
push.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can't tell me if y'all down 5 points that this coach Steve Kerr don't drew up a play for Curry to dribble past the half-point line and shoot goddamn 3. Hell no.
Hey,
Hell no. That's not the play,
Hey,
man.
I ain't gonna lie to you now. Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Really? Oh,
I've seen it happen.
I tell you what.
I ain't threw it up, but I seen it happen.
I guarantee you he missed more than he made with that shit. And it's on the line now. I want to see somebody go down and, like LeBron. I want to see.
Yeah, I don't know whose mic is not right, man. But they saying like, they can't catch the mic, man. Need to fix the mic. Maybe it's too loud, man. We got deep. Hey, yo, we got deep voices in here, man. So you know what I mean? Like, yo, y'all relax on that, man. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to all my kids tuned in, man. So I don't have to hear that.
Okay, Taj, my baby here. Hey, Taj.
Hey, Taj, how you doing?
I wish I could bring you on there. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There we go. Yeah, we here, man. We talking, man. Oh, I got something to say, man. Today, I was going through my wallet, man. I came across a picture of my granddad that we had. You know, one of the things that they give you when you at the funeral, man. So it was like a little plastic card. Then I always kept it in my wallet. And you know, I was like looking at the dates of it, and I was like, dang, man, my grandfather actually died like 2 months. He died in October. My first grandson was born in December 1st. December 2nd, I'm sorry. And I was like, dang, man, I wish my granddad would have been able to put his hands on him and say something. But it made me think about him because it's like, I be thinking about him a lot. And it's like, now that I'm a grandfather, I think about my grandfather. And just like I said earlier in the show, I said, yo, you get your values from your family. Now, my grandfather he had his values and the way he treated us. And so now I'm looking at my grandkids and I'm the same way. I'm old school. I'm gonna spoil you with the candy. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play. Now I might not be buying no Jordans or nothing like that, but you know, we're gonna have some conversations, you know what I mean?
Long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I do want to tell you this, right? When your grandson was born, that was your granddad legal.
Yes, sir.
That was your granddad.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So
Shout out to my granddad, Jack Laurie.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying?
Charles Laurie, aka Jack, digging the Enid Baptist. You know what I mean? So yeah, but when your grandson was born, that was your grandfather reborn.
Cause Big Vic Williams, man, how you doing, man? I see you,
Bill
man.
Dawson in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vic, where you at now, man? Let's look where you at, man.
Yeah, holla at us, man. I know you're around somewhere.
Yes, sir. Wow, this is great, man.
Great, man.
Like kicking on to that, man. Like, what we need, man, is men reach out to men, women reach out to women, or whoever, man. If you're struggling with an issue, man, don't hold that. Don't hold that, man. When you're trying to like raise your kid, your grandkid, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that, you know what I mean? Like, you have somebody that's been in a relationship for 30 years, man, and you just get into one and you need some conversation, talk to them. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody that done been to jail before, man, and you dealing with something, talk to them. Yep. Everything is prevalent in our neighborhood, man. We just got to use our resources to get there.
Yeah. Resources right in the door, right outside.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Right here, all you gotta do is ask a question. And don't be afraid of a little bit of advice. You might think some people are lower than you. Don't be afraid of advice somebody you think is lower than you.
Oh, for sure.
They might have that gym that you just might need to set you above and over.
You know what I figured out, man? That you may have a neighbor that had a plumbing problem, man, for 10 years, and you're a plumber. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we have to like build on that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man, but I'm feeling the nigga right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. But bro, you're right, man. You say we not talking because back in the day we talked, man. Like I was scared of my friends' mother. I didn't want my mom couldn't see me drinking and smoking, and my friend's mom couldn't see me drinking and smoking. So
for sure. hey, I want to take y'all back, man. You remember Uncle Cliff, man? Old dude, man, he used to be on the street.
Yeah,
I can remember.
Shout out to my man.
You remember? You used to give us change, man, to walk down the street,
all the time.
And one day, man, I see them coming down the street, man. I clocked them. I ran outside, man, asking for the change right in front of the house. Yeah. Dad was sitting in the car. He was sitting in his low boy car right in front of the house. I didn't see him. Nigga damn near killed me. You know what I'm saying? But you learn things like that, man. You got to be able to go through something to learn something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, what's at that time, being a young kid, you sitting back like, what's the problem with me getting a quarter from this old dude, man? I'm getting a pack of
Chris gave up more than a quarter, boy. That change is in his pocket.
Yeah. One of the guys always down the street, old head. He always walk down the street, man. Everybody used to mob him up, man. Not bothering, but mobbing because they knew he was giving up change. And like I said, shout out to my man Ashley. I'm gonna give out no last name. Shout out to my man Ashley. What else? Shout out to Sylvia. What up, girl? And then the family members that I do know, the cousins and everything. What up, y'all listening?
That's right.
Here talking about
JT, I see you on there. Hey, Fish, big Fish, man. Remember your dad? What? Booty was the original, man. This was the coolest dude. All my dad friends, this was the coolest. I wish I could have met him when he was like young, man. Because Booty, Booty was cool. He trusted me as Stacey Adams, and then he fucked his arm up, man. I thought it was like the movies, man. This nigga used to light his match, man, with one finger. He put a match back and be like, pop. Every time that shit be like,
shout out, man. Peace to love.
I know y'all know what we talking about.
Yes,
Hey,
sir,
shout out to Kevin Noble, man. Like, thanks for tuning in, man. You definitely hitting the spots, man. But they kind of like reframing me from talking about the religion, man, and the politics right now, man. But we gonna definitely figure out a way to maneuver into that, man.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Kev. What up, boy? 7-5.
Hey, welcome aboard, Kim. Kim Anderson just came in the building too.
What's up, girl? What's up, girl?
All right, so now we at the halfway point mark, and we gonna have to talk about, I don't know, something else.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about relationships a little bit, man. I'm gonna go in mine. I'm not gonna talk about relationships. I'm just gonna talk about me.
But go ahead, man. How can we help?
Man, oh man. As a single man, it's kind of hard, man. Getting a little older. I'm 51, and finding a woman, after you deal with, divorce this late in age, it's a lot of things that's different. It's a lot of things that I'm dealing now with standards and qualifications. But like I say, man, I'm an old school hunter gatherer, like my grandfather was, like my dad was, and like I am. My brother's is. I'm a worker. I'm the type of dude that want to come home with a check, and you know what? If I only bring home 700, and you bring home 700, that's the person I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody that's want to get where we at now and build from here. Because you can have all the accolades you want, but when you get with somebody else, they got to be pretty much on your level. You can go up or down a little bit, but you got to respect. Now, men, like we said earlier, men, we will go down, but women, why is that the women don't feel like they can go down? Please, I would love to know.
Oh, women ain't going down. I mean, let me just put this thing out here, man. Most people, man, in other other ethnicities, they marry up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like with in our community as black folks, man, like the black women are even marrying even, or they're marrying down, or they gathering down. But with the men, we don't care because we're builders, we're
Yeah.
hunters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if the girl works at McDonald's, we'll still holler at her if we think that she has the right qualifications as far as the curves and stuff. We're gonna at least pitch a date to see if they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that on the opposite, of course, we don't have any black women in here to represent themselves, but that's not our fault. You know what I mean? But women are not going to holler at nobody at McDonald's, so to speak. But if you see a girl at McDonald's that look like Beyonce or somewhere close to that, you hollering. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I mean, I said that to say like, men are going to try to work something out, man. And like, and it's got to be said, man. Like, when men were out here making the money and women weren't. Yeah, I mean, and kudos to the women that are out here making the money, getting all of these degrees and doing all of these things. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got all of those things, man. If you run into a man that you're attracted to, that you feel for, and all of that stuff, you're not really dating him because he don't have the degrees you got. He ain't doing all of those things. You know what I'm saying? But see, back in the '60s, man, when grandparents was coming up and our parents and stuff was coming up, you know what I mean? Like men that made the money, and like women would be like I need you to spend time at home. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And men come home and cut the grass, do whatever they have to do in order to survive. But now you got women making money. It's like every man for himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't got 2 degrees and making my 6 figures, I ain't fucking with you. Now, I don't give a damn if you look good or not. You know what I'm saying?
For me, man, you gotta find somebody that you feel like you can work with, someone you can build with. Okay.
Yeah.
So men have a habit of finding down and building them up to where they at, and then both of y'all go higher than that. Because they always say behind every good man,
It's a good one.
damn good woman. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand, women, you gotta
Jackie,
understand,
take your medicine. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Jackie, take your medicine and go to sleep. You're not here, boo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Men start down and they want to bring her up.
Mhm.
Bring a female up.
Right.
And just to give not to pass you.
Right.
Go up
That's
with you.
right.
Hey, I'm not gonna mess with that. I say,
Right. But you wanted something. That's what happens.
yeah, that's what happens. So I want y'all to understand that when they say a good woman, and there's a good man, there's always a good woman behind a good man. You gotta understand that woman was brought from the bottom. And she's pretty much catching everything that he has, and she's bringing more of that with the relationship as y'all ride. You know, she's bringing the goodness that he's brought in. Not to say that she wasn't good, but bringing it in.
Right. And you're right. You're right. Hey, see, yeah, I mean, like, we came from, y'all dealing with a group of people here that came from the same womb, man, and the same spit shot. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of like-minded in here. You know what I'm saying? So what he really saying, man, is some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you look at the whole complexity of the thing, man, men are going to try to build whatever they need to have. Women, if you don't already have it, I ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fucking with you. And they don't care how good you look, how you working with this, how you doing that. Hey, yo, did I shout out the East Side again? That's right, West Side, North Side, whatever. We shouting out the East Side again. It's the East Side show tonight.
East Side night.
I ain't gonna forget the South Side, but definitely big up to the East Side.
And it's an old school guy, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. I go back to the East Side of the '80s, man, and it's like I refuse to say Lower East Side because we put in work for people to recognize the East Side, you know, in the '80s, early '90s. So I'm gonna always say East Side, you know, y'all keep that Lower East Side stuff, man. East Side is from pretty much from Goodman to East High School. You know what I mean? Covert Road. That's East Side. You know what I mean?
That's you talking about some. What about Gates? Yo, Jackie, will you take your NyQuil, please? Yes.
Yes, Taj. It's okay to build a girl up, and it's okay for a woman to help a guy build up, because a woman can't really build a man up. A woman can help a guy build up, man, but we are men because of our intellect and our ways. You know, we adapt, man. We adjust. You know what I mean? For wherever it is that we got to do. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, a woman would most likely be nervous that the guy say, "Yo, it's gonna be all right." It's because we know we gonna work it out.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, to answer the question, you really have to look and see what you're looking for in a relationship. True, you know what I'm saying? And is this a person that you want to build up, that you want to spend the rest of your life with? Is this the person that you feel like got the qualifications but didn't get the break in life? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can help out and get to the point where y'all can grow together. I'm not saying to go out and grab anybody from McDonald's or grab anybody from Wendy's or whatever. And you know, shout out to the people at McDonald's and Wendy's, man, because y'all doing y'all. You know what I'm saying? We all been there somewhere, somehow, some way.
I like to say that's a start. Don't get it twisted. I started at McDonald's. Hey,
right, yes, sir.
Hey,
yes, sir.
I think I'm a damn good man.
Yeah.
Not to say that McDonald's made me
one of my best jobs.
Right.
All about working at a younger age.
Oh, we ain't had no choice because that's the way we learned. You know what I mean? That's the way we was raised.
Oh man, we got like 21 minutes left, man. But we're gonna still kick it in. Okay. We still kicking it in, man, because there's so much to cover, man, but with so little time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do what we have to do. You know what I mean? So when we have to look at like is somebody, what Jackie said, standards and equality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I want to ask? What's up? When we say submit, when a man says that we need a woman that's going to submit, why do women look at that as some kind of power or some kind of like embracement or some kind of slave? You know, submit doesn't mean that you don't have a voice in the house. Submit don't mean that you don't have anything. Like I said about the grandparents earlier, you know what I mean? My grandparents, they worked that out for a million years. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? My grandfather passed away before my grandmother did. And you know what I mean? And we love him to death, man, but nothing changed. But when grandma passed, everything, people stopped talking to one another. We lost grandma in the house. You know what I mean? We had all kinds of stuff go wrong. You know what I'm saying? And what that told me, man, was grandma was like the matriarch. She was the strength, the power, that kept the glue that kept everything together. Grandma wasn't no slave because she wasn't at home. and raising the kids. That was a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you go to work and he goes to work, who the hell's watching the kid? Who's watching the kid? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand that, man. Like, they be like, yo, I'm getting my degree, I'm getting this. And, it's like y'all going for self out here. Don't have no kids, man. Don't have no man. Just go and do you. If you can live off your degrees and all that stuff without the system of social service, Section 8, whatever the hell you call it, then you should be by yourself. Live.
You can live off all that.
Yeah.
Do all that.
Yeah.
The question is, are you happy?
Happy. See, that's the thing, man. And that's why we are dying unhappy. So many, man. We are dying, men and women.
Y'all know who sung this shit? You make me happy to see you and me
Back and strap.
back and stride again.
Hey, yo, man, as far as this podcast thing go, man, we having fun today, man. We miss the ladies. Y'all do get well. They're gonna be back next week for sure. But we gotta start doing something, man. An after party, man. We need an after spot, man. We need somewhere
after
to go.
show, man. It's really serious. All right, so we done talked about a lot, man, but I want to give a shout out to the young folks, man. Give them a nugget. Hey, y'all got any nuggets for the young folks, men, women, whatever, any young thing that you can help them out, man? I know a lot of women that's out here struggling, man, because they ain't understanding how these guys is rolling, and there's a lot of guys out here struggling because they don't know how the women are rolling. Do y'all got anything, man?
Hey, Tasha, how you doing?
Y'all got any nuggets y'all want to get them?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say to the guys, but you can go for the ladies too, man. My dad told me something back in the day. Said it's hard to go to jail after you do it 8 hours. Get y'all ass a job, man. You know what I mean? Parents, if your kids ain't working, they get them on as a job, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. They 17, 18, 19. They got jewelry, they got shit. They on these streets. They selling shit. They doing whatever they got to do. You know what I mean? Get a job, man.
It's funny you say that, man. Shout out to my man Peso. He said this a long time ago. He said this. It was joking, but it was some real stuff when he said it. It was real stuff. We was talking about women. He said, "Oh man, I think women that's gonna disappear for like 8 hours a day."
Yeah.
Oh, that's 10 hours a day. I think it was disappear for 10 hours a day, and it was a joke, but it was funny, but it was real. Because if you disappear 8 to 10 hours a day, that's because she's on the clock. Now, if she ain't got no job, and she disappeared 8 to 10 hours a day, time you to find a good woman. Let's talk about it. No, we ain't gonna talk about it.
We only got 23 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? There's two things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's a nugget, man, for the kids, man. Like, y'all got kids, man, in and around my kids' age and stuff like that, man. And like, I just don't understand, man, when it came to the point, man, where they can't hear you. You know what I mean? I don't understand when they decided that whatever you had to say wasn't prevalent. I tell I talk to most of my daughters, man, because me and my son going through something, I guess, at this point. But what I mean, like when I'm talking, I'm saying like when I talk to my kids, I talk to them about things that's going to enlighten and better them. But it's almost like they have to go through some trials and tribulations before they even hear me.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you look at other people and stuff, and they kids and stuff, and you're like, damn, man, why they kids listening? What did they say to their kids? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying that they never listen or anything like that, but the core things that I want them to do, I only talk about those things. I bring those things up, man. I get y'all. Hold on, JC. You know where they get it from, man. Out of all of us, you was the one that had the and the face, the and the face. I want to give a shout out to my mama, man. I know she's tuned in, man. Love you to death, man. Yo, without you, there's no us. This dude used to come upstairs and like slam his door. I go in there, I'm not going in. Like, yo, bro, what's the matter, man? He's like, Mom said, dude, yeah. no. You know, okay. Back in the days, man, we only had like the call waiting, man, and that just filtered in. You know what I mean? So we had the kitchen phone. We had the kitchen phone, man, that stretched like all the way through the dining room and shit, all the way through the kitchen, right? And mom gets home from work, man, 5:30, whatever, she starts to cook, but she's got like 4 or 5 sisters that she talks to. So you lost the phone privileges because you know, mom, like, and you ain't getting the phone. And then she's on there talking and dinner ain't ready. I was sitting like, how long does it take to cook a pork chop?
and then, like I said earlier, we're gonna go back to standards now. I'm not saying that I want my woman to do it, but I kind of like wondering, like every morning, man, it's like before my mom left for work, she took out the freezer what was gonna be for dinner. So we kind of knew what was gonna be for dinner.
Right, the menu was on the counter.
Oh man. Hey, okay. Mom is in the building.
Mother.
How you doing, Mom?
Oh man.
Oh man, how much more time we got, bro?
Oh man, we still got like 14 more minutes.
All right, the gem I want to throw out there, man, is about money. It's about finance. You know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to pay attention to your finances, budget your money. We quick to go out and buy a pair of Nike. We quick to go out and buy a pair of Jordan. We quick to go out and buy that Coach purse, that guest purse, and all that. For the women, might I add. That's what I'm just saying.
Well, shoot, some of the guys buying that shit too, but go ahead.
The conversation.
Right, go ahead.
But anyway, you got to understand, it takes money to make money. So all that money you're spending on this Nike and all that, you should save that money. Save and save and save.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw a little something out there because we never really got a chance. We were out as a kid. I wasn't told it. And my parents couldn't tell me about it because they ain't know too much about it. They knew a little something, but not a lot.
Right.
That's stock, bond, IRA, stuff like that. Take a look at some of that stuff. Get into some of that stuff. You want to know if you want to be wealthy when you retire, when you get into your, let's talk about the 20s and 30-year-olds. You want to be wealthier when you get to your 50s and 60s and stuff like that.
Right.
Start looking at them stocks, the stock game.
Yes, sir.
Okay, start looking at that stock game. Because you can start off with a little bit of money, and then by the time you get to your 50s and 60s, that money has grown. That money's grown from 1,000 to 500,000 or something like that. So you ain't broke when you retire. You know, hey, I'll be honest. I found out late in the game about the stock game.
Yeah.
You know, I heard about it, but hey, I'm too cool. That ain't for me.
Yeah.
Should
that
be a curriculum in high school?
100%.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing about bank accounts until I got my first real job.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
I count what my paycheck is.
Rope is watching, y'all. Hey, Rope.
But ain't nobody really
Yes,
tell me what
sir.
to do with my money other than blow it. That's all I was ever taught to do with my money was to blow it. You know, buy me an outfit.
Yep.
Nobody told me to buy something that's gonna be worthwhile years to come.
Jackie, you still coming for me.
Jackie, I'm not getting your comments. We still got to work on this. We all join together. I'm only getting my comments. So I see a couple from Ceci. I just see
But anyway,
I see nothing.
that's the
Jackie.
thing I want to throw out there for y'all. I understand you want to look fly and all that. Hey, by all means, do you. But understand, fly clothes are like decades apart. You know what I'm saying? That style you wear right now going to die. So you sitting on $500 worth of clothes that ain't no good for you in 10 years, 5 years.
Hey, and get this now. If you stay focused on the stock or the double interest bearing accounts and the insurance that that's giving you insurance and stuff, you can still get that.
Yeah.
But we don't need that, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've been around for quite some time now. You know what I mean? When we talking about, we started drinking in the 80s, smoking weed in the 80s, and different stuff like that.
Babies.
So when you look at that,
Hold on. Interruption. Come on, y'all. I got one. What?
Baby.
Yes, sir. You're an 80 baby.
There you go. Born a long time ago.
No.
What baby you
Actually,
think you
was
are?
born.
Okay. What baby are you?
If you want to talk when I was born, I was a 60 man.
No, we didn't ask you. We didn't ask you that.
What could you tell me about the 60s?
I can tell you that.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So you want to talk about 80s?
So what we call it like we call ourselves the 80s babies, and I was born in '69. The reason why we call ourselves the 80s babies because we put our benchmark
Yes,
in
sir.
the 80s.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We put our benchmark in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
80s,
So I'm an 80s
90s.
baby. Now I can claim the 90s.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
80s and 90s.
I can rock with that.
My coming out story. That's what
Maybe I need to change that name. I can't call myself.
See,
an 80s
people
baby.
get mixed up because one, a lot of people was born in the 80s, right? But Jay-Z came out with it. He's like 80s babies. I'm an 80s baby. Reaganomics made me. I mean, you know, he was dealing with, you know, Reagan in the 80s and stuff. And if you look at most of our gear, come on, man, look at our footwear right now. We wearing stuff. Most of the gear that's famous now is only from the 80s. You know what I mean? Shell toes, Pumas, Adidas.
the motherfucking British
Knights.
Kid you not. Saturday, I was wearing a pair of black and white suede Pumas.
See?
Back in the day.
See?
I seen them.
Black and white suede Pumas.
I see. I had told somebody. I was like, yo, man, them
I seen him. I seen him.
I was like, yo, man, them the kicks I had in motherfucking. Matter of fact, them the kicks that Craig gave me when we was in Monroe County jail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went upstate. That's what the first fight I got in the fight for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, George got them all fitting joints.
JT, yeah. We still wear Muda. Hi, Muda. We love you, Muda.
We're doing another one out there, right?
Hey,
Shout
Muda.
out to my man Rick. You know, I got two of them boys, Rick. Man, my number 8, Rick. You know who you is. And then my barbershop, Rick. Rick, this cat had on something that blew my mind.
What?
Man had on a pair of Pro Cats.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yes, sir.
What color?
But they was tough.
What color?
They was white. They had them.
All right, because you know we only fuck with the white and the blue back then.
Yeah. But they had blue red stripe and a little blue stripe on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, those were hot. Those were hot. I was like, man.
Man, did y'all notice like the only footwear that's in style today that's from the back in that wasn't from the 80s was the Jordans, which was in our era, still in the 90s. But we didn't buy Jordans when we was kids. No. You know what I mean? So
What we buy? We bought the new ones.
Converse.
White, orange, and white, blue, and orange Ewings.
Oh yeah. Now that was kind of like in the high school days, right? Because you know, Ewing came out of there with like 83, 84, something like that.
Good.
But
And
you
y'all remember?
Jackie, my Amazon cart is full.
Yeah. Look.
And I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
R. Kelly came out in the beginning of the 90s. And what was the name of that first album? Born into the 90s.
Born into the night.
You know what I mean? It wasn't because, you know what I mean, he was born 91, 92, and 99. No, because that was his age. That's when he came into the game, early 90s. So that's why I say when people say 80s baby, man, you gotta realize, man, we are true 80s baby. And I was born in 1971.
I understand what you're saying about 80s. I think we need to change our terminology from baby to a 80s man.
Because 80s is what made me, man. 80s is what made me
Right. 80s what made you.
who I am now.
80s. Yeah, 80s is.
Yeah. JT did bring snacks. We got chips.
Yeah, Jack, I got my own chips.
Yeah, he got his own bag and
Shout
stuff.
out
you
to
know.
Jackie Blackman.
Yeah. As you can see, we don't have our. So guess what? We do need a woman. We ain't got our glasses. We drinking. What do you say? Say it again, JT.
Huh?
Say what we drinking again?
Anejo.
And
Anejo Casamigo. You know, the funny thing is that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you know what I mean?
we started on like some Thunderbird and Night Train.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we had
Yes, sir.
Domskis, man. Shout out and rest in peace to my dad, motherfucking Coley. Felton Coley, you know what I'm saying? That was the man that was like, yo, he showed us a lot too.
No fruit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that man was like, yo, he was real talk, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about, having to have an OG around, man, to show you some things, man. And he was teaching us stuff that I didn't even know that I was learning until I got older.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like my second dad, man, because my dad showed me a lot of things too that I was learning that I didn't know I was learning until I got around, man. You know, there's so many people that sitting around and like, yo, you don't know that?
Let me take it back to the story, right? You know, so we was kids, like you said, back in the 80s and everything, right? And summertime and everything, dad at work and everything. But dad, I guess we got a little ill and everything, came home a little earlier than we expected. Man,
Which is rare.
Yeah, we had the gambling joint going on at the crib, man. We sitting there, man. We pitching pennies and the whole nine, playing cards and everything. So Bob come home. He didn't get back, but he grabbed a big old chain and jug. This big old glass jar of chain. I mean, this glass jar was that big. And all we saw was, oh, okay, we're gonna win some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to this day, I could back then I couldn't tell you what happened, but we ain't win a damn dime. He took all our money.
Look, not only then, we have never, not that I know, lost to him back in the day.
Yeah, no,
In the spot.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Life lessons.
Yeah.
You learned something.
I learned something.
Big Bang take Little Bang.
Not just that. We thought we knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I know damn well he was cheating.
Oh.
Because we ain't know nothing about
Yeah.
Straight cars.
Yeah.
We ain't know nothing about cheating.
Yeah. It's easy
I
to
mean, we
cheat.
ain't know nothing about cheating. But he took all our little cash. Everybody walking around the neighborhood, all the kids walking around there broke, they lost their chain, filled up his little glass jar with a little more and everything. Yeah. Don't be sitting around here gambling, acting like y'all grown know what y'all doing.
Yes, sir.
It's so funny that I think back to them, I'm like, oh yeah, he was cheating us.
Oh yeah. See, you know what? Hey man, I never even thought about that.
Well, you know what, man? Like talking to my Uncle Charles or our Uncle Charles, man, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Like he was, he would say, man, like, yo, we playing blackjack. He was like, man, I ain't playing this so long, man. I don't even have to count the cards. I know what 21 looked like. You know what I'm saying? 5, 7, 9. You know what I'm saying? I know what it looked like. So what it tells me, man, is like, damn, I didn't even think like that. Man, he on a different level.
On a different level.
You know what I'm saying?
He on a different level. But here I am thinking I'm the man.
All right, bro. What time we got here, man?
Hey, we got 3 minutes left, man. Contemplating on 2.
Man, it's been fun, man. It's been fun, bro. But
All right,
this
so
we chop it up all the time, you know what I mean?
all right, so we got therapy sessions going on. Like I said, man, the ladies that's usually here, man, took an ill with a little cold, nothing serious. They'll be okay. They'll be back next week. So we are praying for their speedy recovery. You know what I mean? But I love hanging out with my brothers, man, and like, yo, we try to target you to keep it hood. You know what I mean? Tell your friends, tell your people when we gonna be coming to another podcast near you. You know what I mean? Coming straight hard if we can get it like this all the time on our regular podcast. But we're gonna do what we have to do.
Rope.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, Rope, man, shout out, man. I got playing rope on words with friends, man.
Yeah.
I think he's cheating, but I'm gonna go ahead and battle him for a little while, man.
All right, so I want to say good night to y'all, man. Good night to the family. Bless my kids, bless my wife, bless my parents and all that. Everybody, I know everybody watching, everybody's down with me that's watching. Tune in next week. I'll be here. Tune in every time. I'll be here. If you want to have a conversation, holler at your boy. I'm always out there ready to listen. I'm always out there ready to give a little advice. Now, hey, I ain't trying to say all my advice is 100%, but I try to steer you the right way, which is a little better than most ways that you're going. So that's the last thing for me, man. I'll holler at y'all. Peace. You got OG.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for joining, man. We working it piece by piece here, man. Y'all know what we do, man. After party, man, I'm at the house, got a little something in the oven. Afterwards, you know what I mean? If you know, you know. If not, better find a way. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I guess I gotta go ahead, man, and say, man, that this is the Father's Day edition, even though we got another edition coming. You know what I'm saying? But like, I want to make sure that we understand, man, that shout out to all the fathers. And if you're a lady and you're taking care of your son or your daughter by yourself, you still not a damn father, man. As you're still a mother. You know what I'm saying? Mother's Day already came. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, sorry you missed it, man. Thanks for watching, man. Tune in next week, man. We be here back at 7 o'clock, man. Every Tuesday night therapy session. Tonight, man, we had the William Boys, man, East Side, Rich Nels. You know what I'm saying?
But peace to all of those out there. All right, man, I'm going to give a shout out, man, and holler out, man. Therapy sessions next week, 7 o'clock. Holla at us. Hey.